Hello, my name is R. Blank, and I run SYB. Inspired by the work of my father, Dr. Martin Blank, one of the world's leading EMF scientists, it's my company's mission to make technology safer for you to use and enjoy. Today I'm going to talk with you about EMF safety regulations. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's dive in. No, EMF is not safe. It was long thought that non-ionizing forms of EMF radiation were safe, but in recent decades, a huge and growing body of high-quality science has shown this assumption was false. Doses of EMF, like you would be exposed to from a cell phone or a power line, have been demonstrated to cause increased risk of a wide range of negative health effects, including sleep disruption, learning disabilities and memory loss, infertility, multiple types of cancer, miscarriage, birth defects, and developmental disorders. No, the regulations don't protect you. A lot of people believe that when companies are allowed to sell products, that means they're safe. But that's just not the case. Why is that? For three main reasons. In the case of EMF, a lot of these products aren't tested or regulated at all. This includes sources we are exposed to all the time, including power lines, power transformers, and cars. It shocks many people to realize this, but a huge number of sources of EMF radiation are not regulated at all. Certain sources of EMF are actually regulated, like cell phones and laptops. These EMF regulations are based on something called the thermal effect. This means, as long as a phone does not burn you when you use it, the government considers it to be safe. Despite the fact that there are literally tens of thousands of scientific studies linking EMF radiation to serious long-term health conditions, including infertility and cancer, EMF radiation safety regulations offer no protection against any long-term health effects. These regulations only protect you against immediate-term burns. But even that's not the full story. Because another problem with EMF radiation safety testing is who actually does the testing. In the United States, EMF radiation regulations are enforced by the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC. While the FCC sets the legal limits for EMF radiation, the FCC doesn't actually test any phones or laptops. So who actually tests our devices for EMF radiation? The manufacturer of the device. That's like letting a child grade all his own tests. So it should not be surprising when we find that the manufacturers lie about the EMF radiation from their devices, like we saw in the PhoneGate scandal, when the French government measured hundreds of cell phones and found that 89% of them emitted more radiation than the manufacturers claimed. People, all of us, want to believe that if something is available for sale, it's safe. After all, if something isn't safe, they wouldn't be allowed to sell it to us, right? Well, as we learn time and again, this just isn't true. In some cases, it's because the science hasn't caught up. We don't yet know something isn't safe. This was the case with the drug thalidomide, which was permitted to be sold to treat morning sickness in pregnant women before we knew it would cause so many tragic birth defects. In some cases, it's because the regulations lag behind the science. Science has demonstrated negative effects of something, but the regulations haven't yet caught up to protect us from the effects. This was the case, for example, in the 1980s and 1990s with tobacco, when everyone knew smoking was dangerous, but you could still do it everywhere. And in other cases, it's because the regulations are not actually enforced. Science tells us something is dangerous, and regulations exist to protect us from these forces, but companies skirt or ignore the regulations. This was the case with the 2015 Volkswagen Dieselgate scandal, where the company rigged emissions tests. When it comes to EMF, all three of these issues are in play. The technology that emits EMF radiation is sold before it is tested. Even so, we know that this type of radiation is dangerous, but the regulations lag behind the science. And the limited regulations that do exist are not enforced. So no, EMF radiation is not regulated for your safety. For more information about EMF health and safety and what you can do to protect yourself, visit shieldyourbody.com.